Good morning! So, I am quite excited. Today is the last day of my part-time job for 6 weeks. So there's school holidays now for 6 weeks. Well, after this afternoon, because I've got one shift left. 6 weeks holiday, which is super cool. I'm really excited because I've got so much stuff coming up. I've got 2 books that I want to get out for you guys because you guys loved the first book and I really want to be able to teach you guys a bit more on some other things. So that's coming up. Fingers crossed I can get those out pretty soon. What else have I got coming up? I've got new designs. I've really been craving getting these new designs out and I just haven't had the time to sit down and fully do them. So I've got sketches done. That's going to be next, is getting those designs out. Also very exciting. Now, this week, I have something I want to try out this week, and you guys know we like trying things out on this channel together. So, first of all, this here is a tiny craft iron. Somebody asked me in one of the videos what kind of iron it was. I just got this on Amazon. It was super cheap, maybe £30. Cheaper than the Cricut one, but it's pretty much the same. So yeah, tiny craft iron, but it's still too big for some of the things that I want to do. So I was looking online and what I did find was this. Now, this worries me a little bit. So it's supposed to be a tiny craft iron, which, yes, it is. Now I haven't tried it. I was saving it to do with you guys, but it basically just looks like a burning tool, okay? But it's got this tiny little, I guess, iron head to it. Look, I'll take it out of the bag. Now, I'm really hoping this works because I've got some teeny tiny things that I'd like to be able to put onto hats instead of using a giant iron, the mini iron, and then having the marks around them from the plastic for the vinyl and stuff. So, this is what we're testing out today. Now, what's my worries? My worries are that this is like a burning tool and it burns right the way through a hat, or it leaves scorch marks. But if it turns out to just be like a little iron, we're on to a winner. Now, I think it's got a couple of settings. It does. It's got 1 and 2. So we're gonna have to test these out. So that's what we're doing today. We're testing out this tiny little craft iron and we'll see how that goes. Let's do it. Okay, so we've tested on this hat before. I would like to test it out with these DTF transfers as well. And it also might come in handy for things like the tops of hats where it curves and I can't quite get images on as nice and flat as I'd like. So, or right up into the corners. I'm really hoping that it works for things like that. So it comes with a little stand so you don't burn your unit. It also has this little attachment, which I'm going to attach now before we even turn it on. It's just a little screw-in piece. Let's heat that up and then I'll find something for it to go onto. I think I might do some tiny stars, but I need to cut them out with the Cricut first because I've got some already on Procreate. So I'm going to go do that while this is heating up and then we'll test it out and see how good it is. The weather outside is awful. It was really bad this morning, but oh, you can see the edge of my little garden. The slugs ate all my lettuce, all my beetroot, and my 2 cucumbers because I stupidly left the tunnel open last night and it's so damp outside, there's slugs everywhere, and that's it, I lost them all. And I was really sad because I had 2 baby cucumbers growing and the weather had just got better. It is what it is. I'm just gonna have to plant some more cucumbers, I think. I have this box filled with offcuts from doing the Lord of the Rings inspired hats, and I was like, I really need to find something to do with all these bits, and I was racking my brain, but that's going to come in really handy today for doing some little stars because they're just little sheets. I can easily use some of those. Any ideas for all these? Obviously I can put them in the Cricut and use them again with bits and pieces, but they're just so small and fiddly. You've got to get the right size of things. So if you've got any ideas, let me know. Okay, we ended up going for this rose only because I've sent myself the same email about 3 times from my iPad and I'm not receiving it for some strange reason. So I already had these little roses on Cricut Design Space, so I've gone ahead and cut that out so we can use this one. Do want to use stars though, so maybe later on in the day if they eventually show up, I don't know what's wrong with them, we'll get that done. So we're going to test this one out first. Cable is massive and very stiff. Oh god, I'm quite nervous. I hope this doesn't burn right through. I don't think it's warm enough. Can put it on to level 2. It looks like it's going on, but then when I go to pull, it's still lifting the image. So let's try 2. We'll leave that to heat up for a minute. Okay, I've gone ahead and weighted another one of these because obviously this is already partly stuck down, so we want to do a fresh one as well. This has been sitting heating up on number 2, so let's see if we can get this image on. I keep expecting it to just melt right through the plastic, but so far that doesn't seem to be what's happening, which is really good. You know what? I didn't think that was gonna work. I thought it was gonna be a massive flop. That worked really well. Okay, let's try it on this side with this one and see how quick it works this time. Because obviously we spent quite some time on setting number 1 trying to get that to work. Okay, that looks really good. Right, I'm gonna move over to the light at the window so you guys can have a proper look. Right, now, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think that was gonna work. But as you can tell from my face, it did. So before, now this is DTF transfer, so I mean it's slightly different, but it's still done on a plastic like film, and then you heat it on, so it shows up the marks. You can't quite see it on that one, but see that? There's no mark around there, no square from where I've cut the plastic. That is an absolute win. So there we go, look, this test hat's turned out to be quite funky. I kind of like it. So tiny iron definitely works. I'm not left with lots of marks around about it. I think I might try one of the DTF transfers later when I get back from my other job and add that onto this video as well, because that, you know, it might be worth seeing if there's a difference with the heat vinyl and the DTF, because guys, sometimes I try things out and it's super amazing, and then sometimes I try things out and it doesn't work. But this definitely worked. I'm chuffed. Okay, as promised, we're gonna test out one of these DTF transfers. So this is, I got these samples from Supercolor. They do DTF transfers, and so far they're very cool. They weren't sure if they were gonna work on hats, so they sent me these to test out. But we're gonna try this one, this super cute little camper van, and I'm gonna test it out here. So that way we've got the vinyl here that you'll see that went on really well earlier on, and then this one, which I did with this iron, and I was left with the mark of the plastic around it, like this square bit here. So this is what we're trying to not have happen. So we're gonna test it here. Fingers crossed, because I'd love to be able to get these to pop them onto hats. You know, like have the full of the underneath of the brim. A really cool pattern. A really cool design. That's probably one of my, maybe, let's say, a goal for the next year. Okay, let's test this out. I'm gonna pop it here so we can see the difference. And yeah, hopefully this works out really well. Already I can see the color, like the black coming through where it's been heated up. Which, I mean, shouldn't really be a problem as long as I'm keeping it quite close to the image, I would think. So far, it is not going on. Could be because there's not pressure completely over the image, and I'm having to do it little bit by little bit. So this probably isn't gonna work, I would say. And I seem to be scraping stuff off the top here as well. No, it's not going on. Let's just take this off. Yeah. Okay, so when it comes to the DTF transfers, you absolutely need the pressure over the whole image with the heat, like a consistent heat the whole way through. But that's fine, because we tested it and now we know. And I did start out with just really wanting to be able to put these on without marks around them. So yeah, I'm still happy with that. I'm a bit sad that I didn't get to put the camper van on there, but I'm still pretty happy with it. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. Although this one, this super cute little camper van, didn't work out, that's fine, because I did set out really wanting to be able to just put the vinyl images on, because I've got a lot of ideas for those anyway. The DTF transfers, we'll work on them another time, we'll figure that out. See, if only I could get like a really big press to just on there, but with the rim and there obviously being a hole, it doesn't really work. But that's not what we were doing today anyway. We were testing these out, and yeah, so this one doesn't work, totally fine. Like I said earlier on, you can't get everything right, and sometimes things work out great and sometimes they don't. So yeah, it's pretty good though. If you've got any questions or any ideas or information that you think that would be handy to myself or anybody else watching the video, please leave them down in the comments below. Okay, so that's it for this week. Remember guys, stick the bell on so you don't miss anything. You need your notifications. And also, if you'd like to subscribe, please do so. But, as always, I'm not forcing you. So now, I'm going to go and edit this video. Thanks for coming and hanging out, and I will see you next week.